Well, with a lot of crazy things that has happened pretty much on a regular basis in this World Cup, are we gonna see more in day 7? That obviously is gonna be a question. And what's interesting about day 7 is that all three of these games, if you look at it, it looked very mismatched. It looked like it's pretty obvious that who's gonna win the game. But as I said before, whenever there's a mismatch game, and especially how this tournament has gone in terms of these mismatch game, it has usually gone the other way, and it's usually put a big shock in our face after the 90th minute because the team that we expect to win in that mismatch match either did not win or only got a draw out of the smaller team. So we're going to see if that's going to happen in terms of these three games. But first of all, we're going to start with, and actually put the wrong order of this. This actually is the 8 a.m. game or the 6 p.m. game. This is actually the first one, which is Portugal versus Morocco. Portugal, of course, drew 3-3 to Spain, while Morocco lost 1-0 to Iran. And really, I think this is an absolute must-win for Morocco. Because right now, Morocco, if they do not get a win in this game, and if Portugal, of course, get a win, and if Spain gets something out of it, they won't be mathematically out of this tournament, but it would be a huge mountain to climb. And just looking at this match between them, certainly I think this is a match that you could say that potentially they could get a win out of. Portugal, I think in the last match, they look good, but they look like they were heavily rely on Cristiano Ronaldo. And I think one thing Morocco will definitely do in this game, and pretty much what Spain did to Portugal in the last game, is that they're going to foul Ronaldo as much as possible, and that they're going to literally double team Ronaldo and trying to take that option away from Portugal and then go on from there. And so far as we have seen, with Ronaldo not being part of the game, this Portugal national team really struggles. In that game against Spain, when the Spain player took away Ronaldo, and with him not really making a big impact to this Portuguese team, you saw how much Portugal really struggle. So for Morocco, they need to take away Ronaldo. They need to put him out of the game and maybe make some tactical fouls in this game to make sure he does not get into open space and just get a good opportunity. And yeah, they have to win this one if they want to head into the final day at least with some hope that they can make up after that loss against Iran, which was a huge loss to Morocco, and it was very damaging to their World Cup hope of potentially extending as they make it through the next round. But either way, on to the next match. And speaking of Iran, they play, of course, Spain in this match, and certainly you know what Iran is going to do in this match. They are just going to sit back, park the bus. They're going to try to slow the game down as much as possible. They're basically doing the Tony Pulis kind of style of football where they're just going to play boring football. They're literally not even going to think about attacking for most of the game, and they're just going to see if they can maybe get one lucky goal and just pretty much tell Spain to go at them and see if they can break them down. And this is what Iran has done pretty well in these last couple of games whenever they're in the World Cup. But I just think against a Spanish opponent that has so much quality, and that certainly they will, of course, eventually find a way to break them down, I think maybe Spain might have too much to handle for this Iran defense. But then again, like what I've been saying before, we have seen times where whenever the smaller team goes with this very organized kind of defense, they tends to have success against the bigger team, and they tends to able to ride that out. But with Spain, if Spain gets the lead and and get this first goal, then it is game over for Iran, because the game plan for Iran is they just better hope not concede that first goal, because if they do, then their game plan basically ruins, and that they will probably lose this game. And they will be kind of still in a situation heading to the final day to try to maybe get out of the group, but they definitely would love to at least get a point out of this, so that they'll be heading to the final day potentially top of their group and in a very good position of moving on. But yeah, talking about the final game, it's between Uruguay versus Saudi Arabia. So Uruguay, of course, won 1-0 against Egypt, while Saudi Arabia lost 5-0 to Russia. And after what Uruguay saw what Russia did in that match, they would know that they definitely want to get a win in this game. And I think they definitely are going to get a win, because Saudi Arabia, let's face it, when they face against Russia, that was absolutely pathetic. And they are probably the worst team right now in this tournament, if I haven't said it before. And, I really think that for Uruguay, all they need to do in this game is that they can play exactly the way they play in the last game, but just put away those chances. And, if Luis Suarez doesn't just kind of dick around and trying to miss these kind of easy chances that he always put away when he's at Barcelona, if he can do that and Cavani can come up good, then this should be an easy win for Uruguay. I mean, I just don't see how Saudi Arabia can slow down this Uruguayan team. And, if Uruguay, of course, win or get a draw out of this, then Russia is moving on into the next round, and Egypt would be eliminated. And I also think that Saudi Arabia would be eliminated too, because Uruguay will be at 4 or 6 points, depending if they drew or win this match. And Saudi Arabia would only be at 1 or no points whatsoever. I mean, maybe having said that, Saudi Arabia, with the fact that the backs is against the wall for them, maybe that they'll try to be up for this game, knowing that their World Cup kind of life is really on the line for this game. But the way that they play in the last game, and the way that they're facing a team that just they have so much more quality than they have, and certainly can find a way to break down their kind of disorganized defense. I really think that Uruguay should be able to win this one, and that if they win this one, they will eliminate Egypt and Saudi Arabia, and Group A would be pretty much done and dusted in terms of who will move on to the next round. But let me know in the comments, in these 3 games, what do you think is going to happen in these 3 games? For me, I would say that of all these 3 games, the one that I think there's definitely going to be an upset is going to be this one. I really think that Morocco, the way that they play in that last game against Iran, they look pretty decent in the first half, but in the second half, they kind of run out of ideas and kind of fell into that Iran trap, where they just got trapped in this very slow pace of game. So Morocco was definitely play their high-flying, attacking kind of style against Portugal. And we have seen that this Portuguese team, they do sit back at times, they do counter-attack. And that's one thing that I am maybe a little bit concerned about Morocco, is that if they get caught on the counter-attack, then this could be really ugly for Morocco. But I really think this probably could be an upset. I'm not quite sure if this might be an upset. I mean, if Iran can play that kind of slow kind of style of game, and if they can just hold on to, I think this game, either Iran is going to get a 0-0 draw, or Spain is just going to absolutely destroy them 3-4-0, because it's just that Iran's going to play their slow-paced game and just earn a 0-0 draw, or Spain just going to completely destroy their defense after they score in that first goal. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below the score that you guys predict for all 3 of these games. And yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. And let's just hope that when I do the review of this game, or not this game, but these match days, there will be another surprise that I will be talking about.